to ask you a little bit about what you think about the coming up election in the States and what matters it has, in the time that we're living now and where we are. What do you believe about that?
Well, the election in the United States is going to be one of the dirtiest, ugliest ones in our history. It will be rampant with voter fraud, manipulation, propaganda, deceit, treachery, all manner of backbiting and ugliness. It will be an ugly process. And whatever happens, one side or the other will be upset and angry. This country is so polarized right now. I've never seen it like this. But if the Republicans win here, then all the Democrats will be very, very upset. And if the Democrats win, then all the Republicans in their base are going to be very, very upset. The division is at an all-time high, and I think that it's being stirred deliberately by the New World Order people. George Soros and his crew come to mind, which we believe are behind some of the financing of the immigrant march from Guatemala in the past, and also some of the riots with the Black Lives Matter and so forth here. So the deep state in America, the CIA, the NSA, the deep state, the people who killed John and Robert Kennedy, the people who offered me the job to bomb the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building, the people who were behind the 9/11 attacks. This crew is pulling out all the stops now, and they're doing everything they can to influence this election and to change it. And so, it's like Joseph Stalin once said, the people, who decides the election is not the people who vote. It's the people who count the votes. And they've already, the FBI here, Federal Bureau of Investigation, just found a van load of Trump ballots. They were mail-in ballots, and they had been thrown away. Okay, so they would never be counted. There's also the Diebold electronic machines. These machines can be programmed secretly with a back door to flip the votes. Okay, so then we have the Electoral College.
Yeah.
And I've heard that there are threats being made to some of the electors already. Now, they're trying to keep that out of the news, but there is rampant meddling in this election. And I do not know the full extent of it, but it's going to be a real ugly, horrible process, a painful process. America was a great country, and they did do some things to help people. They've also done a lot of really bad things, and I was a part of some of those. I wished I hadn't have did it, but I can't go back and change the past. All I can do is admit the truth and say I was wrong and bring the light. But our country's in a lot of trouble, and the New World Order is meddling behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's really stepping up. That's what I could feel. And if I could just pop in with Oleg, what do you think about the things that is coming up now with Estonia and so on? What's on with that?
This is a really good question, and I think it's really important to look at what's going on at the time when things like this is released, because this is absolutely breakthrough evidence that is being pushed forward. MS Estonia's, the blowing up of MS Estonia is something that I spent, I think, 20 years digging into. I've been to Estonia speaking to families. I've been at a conference there as a key speaker. So I've been really face to face with this horrible, horrible event where almost 1,000 people died. They say 852. It's much more than that because there were people illegally on board as well. So it's interesting to see that right now, when they're pushing 5G, the Corona thing is starting to lose power. People are coming more and more aware of, hang on, I'm not buying this one. Then boom.
Yeah.
And then So diversion is always a key part of black ops or psychological warfare. So I find that interesting that it's happening exactly now. It's also because in Sweden they're pushing for the fear of Russia. I think it's more or less the only country at this moment where this propaganda is going on. But Sweden is always, or has been for many years, a very special case where it's like a test run nation where they can just test out the different types of new or part of the new world order. And if Sweden accepts it, since Sweden has a very beautiful and respected reputation abroad, then Sweden will be used and saying, why don't you want a digital currency? Why don't you want this and that? Why don't you want your chip passports? Why don't you want it? Because the Swedes do it. So, okay. What I want to say though is that this documentary, which you can find on Channel 5 in Sweden, super interesting, I find, because it's very well made. And not only that, I find it very interesting because here for the first time ever, we see a real damage to the side of the ship, which has been there. I mean, this has been very, very well documented that there has to be a massive hole on the starboard side at the swimming pool part of the whole thing. That's where the water entered, and that's what made the MS Estonia go down so fast, because normally that's impossible. There's so much air locked in a ship like this. But question one, is it Estonia that they're filming? You have to ask yourself, just because you see something. I believe it is. I also believe that there was a Jutta Rabe, which is a super fantastic reporter from Germany. She and Greg Bemis, an American expert and millionaire, went down, found a hole and cut loose one of the pieces, and they had sent that to a laboratory, and was confirmed that it was explosives that had blown this big hole open. But the governments of these 3 or 4 different countries had already approved that they were dumping like 10,000 tons, or I don't know how much, of rubble on the boat so that these holes would be covered. But the thing is, water moves and there are currents, and if you had a hole on the inside or in a boat, the gravel and so on would slowly go into the holes as well, exposing them. So I believe if it is Estonia that we're seeing here, absolutely amazing, because then once and for all, it only took since 1994 for this to be confirmed. They could have been done in less than 5 hours. It's not deep waters. It's almost like an amateur diver could go down there. And there have been divers down there, and I have photos of the explosives that was placed on the sides of Estonia. It's in my book, Coup d'etat in slow motion. But what I believe is what happened, because there's been rumors of a submarine from day one. And I believe that the damage we're seeing in this documentary is the damage from a collision with a submarine. You got the diameter, it's around force 500 to 600 tons of force, and it matches up with what a submarine of quite a significant size can do. So what I believe is that what we might be seeing is boom, boom, the 2 explosions. The witnesses are talking about 2 massive explosions, and then after that, the vessel went to the right, to starboard, and then there was this sound of like scraping against ice, an iceberg or something like that. I believe it's possible. I don't know that submarine from where it comes, but I believe that there's a possibility that there was a submarine that was there to escort the transport of the military equipment that was on board on a regular basis on MS Estonia. There was also a massive NATO operation this evening, or these days, we must not forget them. It was called Venture Cooperation 94, something like that. A massive NATO operation, and that did not interfere at all. But instead, the very second that the explosives went off, the whole eastern part of the Baltic Seas were blocked radio communication. So we're looking at a big operation. So either the submarine was part of escorting the ship, making sure that it went down, or it could have been there escorting because of the military transport. And if so, boom, boom, 2 explosions, the captain panics and turns starboard, and then the submarine crashes right into the side of it. So I believe that what we are looking at will be 2 different damages to the starboard side of MS Estonia. But this, once and for all, the people in governments and so that have been covering this up for all of these years, there's no way out for them. Fine, and now they disappear. These are Bilderbergers, most of them. Mona Sahlin, Carl B. Ingvar Carlsson was not a Bilderberger, but he was later employed by Henry Kissinger Associates. Ines Usman, a Bilderberg. There's so many of these, Stefan Löfven, all of them are in the same very criminal group, and they've been trying to cover this up, and now the spotlight is right at them.
I love it. Thank you, Ole. I was really good and interesting to hear, and I just could discuss it like forever with you. Let's do that later. So back, Cody. So there is a lot of things accelerating, and there's like so much like going on right now. I feel that we're on a crescendo. Are you with us?
Yes.
Yeah. And I believe there is a lot of things that is gonna happen. It is an interesting fall coming up the end of this year, and in my truth, what I believe, and I would like to share that a bit with you and what you believe, because there's, as you said, so much darkness and satanic things around us ruling right now, but as well as the light is rising so high that I believe, it's flipping over the other side. I believe that if truly as many people as possible get awakened, and we will just flip this. What do you believe?
Yes, absolutely. We're at a tipping point in consciousness. The New World Order, the Bilderbergers, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, these big bankers and the big corporations, the military-industrial complexes around the world, they all want to control us. They want all the resources on the planet, all the timber, in the Amazon basin. They want all the diamonds in Africa. They want all the oil in the Middle East. They want the whole planet, and they want all the people on it to be their slaves. And it's a darkness, and they're using fear and chaos and mind control and brainwashing and lies to accomplish their aim. And we're at a tipping point. If we can wake enough people up to their secret plans, like Ole's been doing, waking them up to the false flags, like the Estonia and all these other events, then we can make a better world. If we don't, then we could fall down into slavery. So we're in a very precarious time. And I want to warn the people in Sweden, too, about the possibility. You had many fires there. I think it was 2 summers ago, maybe 3 summers ago. They've had fires in Australia, many fires, like 200 fires last summer. And now this summer here in America, it's our turn. I think they're going around the world using high technology, geoengineering spraying. Some people call them chemtrails, but we call them geoengineering, aerosol injection, combined with dew weapons and ground teams that start fires deliberately to cause chaos and so forth. And they also may use a seismic weapon. They do have the capacity to use airborne microwave lasers from either an aerial platform in the atmosphere or a satellite. And they can heat fault lines with microwave energy, like you put a hot dog in the microwave and cook it. And they can heat stress points and make them warm up and then slip and have the potential to trigger earthquakes. They can also help create hurricanes and other forms of weather warfare. So be on the lookout for these things. Don't just believe that it's, that it's a natural disaster. Some of them are. But the New World Order loves to hide their bombings and their false flag terror operations globally behind things. like weather and just random forest fires and things like the Estonia, you know, the ship just sunk mysteriously, you know. And so dig deeper and find the truth, because the truth will set us free, but we have to have enough people, like you say, joining together. That's what they can't control us all if we join together. And we put our divisions between Russia and the United States, or Sweden and Italy, or whatever country you're in, all your divisions between religion and economics and all of it. If we unite as one, then they can't possibly control us, even with all their high technology.
Yeah, exactly. And we're talking energies and so on. And I just believe that, this energy can crush that energy and, just take it out. And that's the vibration, of the awakening will be able to do that, I believe. Yeah.
What do you think, Ole?
Yeah, exactly, Ole.
What do I think? I sometimes feel if I ask my brain, we're screwed. It's over. It's if we're all going to be vaccinated, they're going to arrest us. If I ask my heart, minor bump in the road, not a problem whatsoever. That we are here in incredible times, and I keep getting these T-shirt designs in my head, and I love them. One of them was "Stop whining, start shining." Power to the peaceful, peaceful president. These type of things where no, I feel today I'm tired, but normally I feel very strongly that we're super close, and it's like the so-called tipping point they're talking about. If you have like 1 ton on one side and you got 999.99 kilos on the other side of a scale, the only thing you need for the tipping point is a mosquito, something, or a butterfly that lands. So before that happens, it feels no, it's over and done. We don't have a chance. But the tipping point could be this interview. We've worked so hard for so long, and it's like once there's a crack in the wall, once that cracks, like sometimes I describe it as the Hoover Dam. You keep hitting the same spot, and there are billions of liters of water or gallons of water that is caught or imprisoned by this dam, like the Hoover Dam. The more you hit it, sooner or later there will be a crack, and when that crack is there, then this incredible pressure of the water, which is the symbolism of us, the human spirit and people, the crack will, the whole thing will go down within minutes, go super fast. And that's where I believe that it's in that situation where we that are more balanced spiritually are extremely important to hold the hands of others that would be very confused. And so I'm super optimistic always.
Yeah, me too. And the price of what we've all three been through, a lot of darkness and pain and the scary shit is also our powers today. None of us have been here if it wasn't what we went through. So for me, it's like a big reward, a price of the freedom that I feel that I am not afraid.
Yep.
That's the one thing they want to keep, all the people of the world. They want to keep us in fear. They want to keep us in chaos, because when your mind is operating on the mental plane in deep fear, it blots out your connection to your spirit.
Yes.
So we tell people, if you want to find the truth, don't look at things so much like your mind, like Ole was talking about. Instead, learn to listen with your heart, because your heart has a built-in meter in it. You can feel when a politician is lying to you. You can feel when a banker is trying to run a scam. Doesn't matter if you're in Iran or Kazakhstan or Beijing. You can feel it as a person. And if we tune into our creator-given power of spirit, and step out of the mental realm where the fear is and the chaos and the confusion is, and step up to that higher consciousness, we can create a better world. And all their lies and all their armies and all the propaganda can't touch us there. And we're true spiritual beings of light then, but we're alive on the earth in a body. And I've been separate. I've had my spirit here in my body like it is now, but I've also had my body dead and clinically dead. And then I realized for the first time what I really am, what we really are, which is a spiritual being of light. And they can't kill us. They can kill our bodies, but they cannot harm our souls.
No, that's a beautiful ending, Cody. That's totally what I believe. And my mother, she's talking about the web of light. If you see like the earth as a web around it with all of the lights, the hearts that gets enlightened, and when you turn on, help people to turn on that light, and it connects to, in the web of light, and it gets like this really strong. And when I meditate, I think in that way, and it's a beautiful way of seeing it, where you connect with all of the other people around the world.
Yes, it's beautiful when you bypass everything, all the lower stuff, and just connect as spiritual beings of light. I don't know how much time we have. Sometimes Ole and I, he has a little prayer that he does, and I have a Cherokee prayer for the people there. It's a very old prayer. If you'll honor me by letting me speak it,
I would love
and I'll
to.
translate it into the English because I don't speak Swedish. I'm sorry.
Come on. You have
Thank
to
you.
learn.
Okay, these are very old prayers, and when we begin our healing work in the Star Lodge, Elohi ni tse osa lihiliga. We always start out with that. That's Earth, our mother. We are grateful, but this prayer goes like this: Galulo hi gini duda nudawa gini lisi Elohi gini tak Galii iga Kigini gi yu Osali hiliga. And in English, that's Sky, our grandfather, Moon, our grandmother, Earth, our mother. I am thankful. We love each other. We are grateful.
Beautiful. It is really beautiful, connecting with a lot of things. When I hear these words, it connects with something in me that is like huge.
Some
Cody?
people, when they hear the old voices of our ancestors, it connects in a deep spiritual way, and some people get chills down their neck or their back. The Lakota Indian word for that is wachangi. That means spirit chills or goose chills, and that's a way our spirit transcends our mind. Many people have never heard the old language of like Cherokee or Lakota, but when they hear it, their mind doesn't know what it is, but their spirit recognizes it, and then it gives you the chills. So that's a way we learn to connect with each other when we get the wachangi.
Beautiful.
But Cody, could I ask you to say the other prayer as well? My favorite one.
Oh, that prayer.
Oh, that prayer.
Yeah,
Please do.
that's a good prayer. I can't do that right now.
Okay. But I just want to say the way it ends is all is well. We are grateful. Something like that. And this is like hundreds and hundreds and maybe thousands of years old. All is well. And in this situation as well, all is well. We are grateful. If we stay at that level, all is well. We see this theater being played out in front of our faces, where these dark forces are trying to make us believe that everything is awful, everything is horrible, we're gonna die, it's over. And then you have this other level that is a totally different one, an observing level that knows that everything is fine. Everything is fine. There's nothing to be afraid of. It looks scary. It's like a fart in the sunset. It smells awful. It's not real. It dissolves. If you look at it, at these shadows, they disappear. And that's why my website, Light on Conspiracies, aim the light into the belly of the beast.
Yeah.
Non-violent, totally fearless. Let it do its work. Let the truth just release and free us all.
Beautiful said, Ola. Thank you so much, because that is so much also my truth, penetrate the evil with the light and it will get destroyed. So, yeah.
I have this prayer that I always use, and I would love to do it as well. It's Nellany's prayer, and it goes like this. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy. That means every single little square millimeter of the universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. May everyone, and especially the ones who hurt us, be filled with peace and joy, love and light. May the light of truth overcome all darkness. So victory to that light. Because the thing is, the way I see it, because I should be more angry or hateful than anyone else. I mean, I know more of this than most. But the way I see it is that the worst assholes in our lives are also the biggest teachers. Yeah. And so these super psychopaths like Gates and his buddies are indirectly helping us to take these steps of evolvement, spiritual evolvement. I would never have met you. I would never have met Cody. So many thousands of people being pulled together at this beautiful time, because we are like a tribe that have lost. We don't know that we are a tribe, but now we feel the pulling. We're being pulled together from all over the world into finding our real tribe in truth, balance, love, harmony, peace, compassion. And this is absolutely beautiful. And then people say, oh, but it's so scary. Yeah, it is. And it's wonderful. It's so you can't have both yet. But I hope that very soon, my hope is that we will take the next step when the frequencies get high enough to go from duality, leave that forever behind us, and go into all is one.
I believe so.
Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the universe, you have to look at frequency and vibration. Mm-hmm. And so on a spiritual level, we seek the higher vibration. If you see or feel someone talking or you're around somebody and they're down on a lower plane, lower vibration, you don't have to be there with that and let them pull you down to their level, to their lower frequency. You just follow the higher path and take the higher energy, and that will always lead you to service to others. And like Mother Teresa and Jesus Christ and Buddha, that you begin to where you just help people naturally. You don't try to harm them. You don't try to make them think or vote a certain way. You don't try to control them with military force. You try to set them free, and you help them. And it's a beautiful feeling. I know I was in a very dark, low vibration. And then after I died, I started seeking the higher one. So that's what I would say to people, is seek the higher path. Take the high road, and there's light and beauty there.
Yes, and it's possible for everyone, no matter what. That's the beautiful thing. Mm. So thank you guys for this absolutely amazing, lovingly conversation. I could talk for hours, but I really, truly hope to see you one day, Cody. My home is open for you, and I believe that we will. I have that feeling. So stay safe, and thank you so much for your time.
We love you. Thank you. It's been an honor to be here. Thank you for letting me speak.
And thank you, Ola, for giving me the opportunity to have Cody on. It means a lot to me.
Oh, my absolute pleasure, because the thing is that it goes through shows like this, but it opens up into a whole nation, in this case called Sweden, because these things spread like wildfire. And that's why this is so amazing to be part of it. And I tell you, you just listen for 2 Harleys, and sooner or later it will be Cody and me popping up your little gravel road. So
I don't wait.
That will be a day for cold beer and a good laugh.
That's right.
Beautiful. I can't wait for that. Take care, and
You
all the
too.
love. from me to you. Speak soon again.
Speak soon. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Vi lyssnar på Motgångspodden.